Hi, everyone in the Bliss community. Today I decided it'd be an interesting idea to interview some of the most influential players in the community. So as a first episode, I decided to interview Level. So, how are you today?
Hey, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, how about you?
I'm well. I'm well. Okay, so let's start with like the very beginning. So you started in the summer of 2017, I read. Can you tell us more about what got you from starting to becoming rank one, and what kept you
Um,
motivated?
yeah, well, I'll just start with why I began playing BlissScape. I guess I was looking for something to do during the summer, and well, I got fairly hooked on BlissScape, you can say. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I played a lot, and well, in the beginning, it wasn't really grinding for ranks as much, but just enjoying the content and exploring the content and what the game had to offer.
Okay. Yeah, I think that sounds like how a lot of people are too, I would guess. So, can you remember any like acts of anyone giving you something when you were first starting or helping you with like pest control or anything early on that really sticks with
Ooh,
you?
yeah. Well, you mentioned pest control, but back then when I was playing, uh, that achievement wasn't even in the game at that time.
Oh,
So
okay.
um, yeah, like specific things I can't really remember, but a couple players I, w- I- I can remember back from back then were Maiden or Amy, if
Oh,
you
okay.
remember her.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Coco. Coco was a mod back then. Chris, definitely Chris. And James, of course, yeah. Those are the players I can uh, like remember from way back then.
Yeah, I've had good experiences with a lot of those people too, so I could see that. Um, so we're both trimmed completionist players, but you were the fourth. Um,
Yeah, well, yeah, fourth. You can say fourth.
so let's talk about that now. With what's currently the trimmed completionist requirements, what would you focus on first if you're making a new account yourself?
Ooh. Yeah, well, well, not recently, but the last things that were added were the prestige armors,
Uh,
and yeah, uh, well, to be honest, if you're going for trim completionist, I just have fun with everything.
yeah, try not to
That's
bone out.
that's that's the base thing. Like if you're about skill, don't push yourself too hard, and um, yeah, utilize double XP weekends as much as possible. Um, when I started, I I would just try to like figure out the game and just explore what the game had to offer. Um, yeah, then the prestige system caught my eye, which for me it's pretty much just endless content. To be fair.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I've played a lot of solos in the past that did prestiges, but none of them are quite as good as how I think this game was.
Yeah, I feel the
So,
same way.
yeah, I've been
But
thinking.
yeah, like back
Gone.
to that. Yeah, just have fun and don't burn out. Like I've
Yeah,
had one or two times that I've burned out, but you should try to limit those moments.
I think the one piece of advice I would give is to look into the individual pieces of prestige armor. Because some of them, like, if you're gonna have to prestige smithing, maybe try to get like, what is it, the Valak plate body? Because that would
Yeah,
really help with
exactly,
that.
exactly.
So,
Because
yeah,
you're eventually you're going to have to get all of those pieces anyway. So like you should try to look at getting them in a certain order. I'd stay away from buying any of the cosmetics or any dry gores from
yeah,
the prestige shop itself until you've gotten all of those items.
Yeah, I'd
And
agree with that.
definitely look into skill K perks.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a big one. Because going from 99 120 to 200 mil, some of those are really good perks.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
moving on from that, if you had to lose trimmed completion escape because they add a new requirement, what would you really like to see as something to add to the completionist and trim completionist requirements?
Mm, yeah, that's a hard one, I think, because you definitely want to make them harder, but
Yeah,
with what what with the content that's in the game now, that's kind of hard to do. I think most of the content has been added to the completion escape and the turn completion escape, but if I'd had to add something, I'd say maybe to the trimmed completion escape, either some of the titles that have been added since since when was that? Like a year ago. So the Jack of Trades title and Beastmaster titles, I think definitely should be on the trimmed completion escape
ooh.
requirements.
Like the jack of all trades or just the jack
No,
of
no, no.
trades?
Just the 10 pet
Oh, okay,
uh,
okay.
cape. Yeah,
I was
title.
gonna say you just want to be the young one with the cape then.
Oh, yeah, no. But I definitely think like the trim completion escape is really easy to get at the moment because yeah, it's not that difficult to get to P1 everything.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It's just time consuming. It's not even hard.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, players
Well,
can get it
yeah,
in under 20-day playtime if they
uh,
do it. So,
definitely. So, some people might not know this, but a while ago there was a rule change where there used to be boss services where you could hire someone to play your account and do the harder bosses like maybe Kiln or Fight Caves, maybe QBD. What were your thoughts on that rule change on banning boss
um,
services?
well, I'm not gonna lie. I did make use of such a service when I started out. I had Chris actually kill my kiln.
Yeah,
Um, but coming back on that, I think it's a good rule change because
yeah,
you should be uh, getting those achievements yourself and learning to kill QBD or kiln is a part of the fun.
definitely. I would have liked to be able to do QBD for people back then. I get why the rule change is around. I totally understand it. But like, it would have been kind of fun to make money doing people's QBD. I would not have minded because I love the boss, but I
Yeah,
feel
but
like it's necessarily evil. It has to be a
it's
rule.
exactly, and
Yeah.
it's also considering um, account security.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
That's definitely a big role in why that rules added.
Yeah. So along with rank one, you decided to get Master of All, which is all pets, like all of them.
Yeah.
So now that you have all pets, you just kind of do whatever skills for XP and stuff. Like, what do you find are your favorite skills and least favorite skills to do?
Ooh. Um. Yeah. Favorite. I'm gonna go with player. It's kind of like everyone's favorite skill,
Yeah,
probably. It's just you can do everything with it, and it's yeah, just a roll around mm, nice skill to train.
yeah.
Um, least favorite, dungeoneering or hunter, I'd say.
Ooh,
Hunter
okay.
because it's really click intensive and I just don't enjoy hunter. And dungeoneering, well, I don't enjoy dungeoneering either.
I don't either. Yeah, you make a good point on both of those. I'm glad I got my Hunter pet as early as I did, because now I don't really have to do it anymore.
Yeah, well, it's about that, like it's when I got my pets, um, I wasn't really looking into getting them early because getting them early means you uh, you lose like an incentive to train that skill.
Yeah,
So if you, yeah, for example, get agility at P199, uh, you don't really have the incentive to train it anymore. But if you get it really late, that helps you train that skill a bit longer.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, like so. Actually, yeah. Speaking of that, that helps this transition. So, what was some pets that you got really lucky on and got early versus the infamous wound crafting pet for you? So, for
Rune crafting.
for those who don't
Uh,
know, what happened there with the wound crafting
yeah.
pet?
Um, I was down to probably my final four pets, I think it was. I think I needed um, agility, hunter, dungeoneering, and rune crafting, and this was in January, February of last year.
Yeah.
uh, I think I did like two whole double XP weekends of rune crafting without getting the pet, and on the third double XP weekend of doing rune crafting, I got my rune crafting pet at P2 67 mil, I think it was. Like it's not the the highest XP I've seen for a pet, but it's definitely up there for most annoying pets because yeah, well, summoning if you get summoning at P2 67 mil, well, who cares? Summoning is really really quick. Rune crafting is just so repetitive.
Is that a comment on my summoning pet? Because I think that's when I got mine. It was like
Oh no,
P2.
not at all. But
I was like, oh, are you firing shots at me right now?
I had no idea. But yeah, it
I
was
think it
just
was like P2 92 mil or something. I think was my summoning pet.
jeez, yeah.
But yeah, thank God it was summoning and not like hunter or agility
Yeah,
or
well,
something.
oh, I think Sports Snaps got his agility pet at the XP he's at now as well, and he's at P2 73 mil.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely my rune crafting wasn't the worst, but it was the worst for me personally.
Do, do you know what your lowest XP pet was?
Lowest, ooh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you. It, the only one that comes to mind is farming at P1 57 mil, but there's probably been lower ones.
I think I only
And
got one prestige zero pet, and
yeah,
that's
I
it.
got zero. I got zero, but that was because I had prestige most of my skills when skinning pets were released.
Oh, right, yeah. I forgot that I'm relatively new to this game still, all things considered.
Um, yeah, well, I think they were added in October 2017.
Yeah, I joined November of that year, so I think they were out at the time then.
And yeah, well,
Good timing for me, I guess.
boss pet wise, Pandos and Armadillo, 4K plus KC. So
Oof.
those were the worst. And well, like most boss pets are, you get them fairly quickly because the the drop rates are fairly low or high
Yes.
rather.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think I got next at like 9 and Kiln at 2. So yeah, those were pretty decent.
I think I got Bandos at like 17 or something, but I'm kind of sad about that because I wouldn't have mind doing like thousands of Bandos because he's
Oh,
he's not hard.
I'm still doing bandos,
Oh,
like
you
or not at
oh
this moment, but
in
like I
general.
enjoy doing bandos because I just want. I've said in the past that I want to get 10k KC in bandos, but that's a long term goal.
Yeah, that would take a while. Okay. So let's transition back to you being rank one. So you've been it for a long time, but can
Almost a
you?
year.
Yeah, that's nuts. Can you think of a time that you actually felt like you were gonna get past, or did you feel like when you got it, it was yours? Because now
Ooh.
you're very, very, very far away from being passed, to say the least.
Well, um, I've had uh bigger leads in the past. Raikau is at the moment like he's 2 bill XP behind. Well, and I've been like 3 or 4 bill ahead in the past. He's come fairly close, uh, mostly because back in the end of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, I was grinding bosses a lot
Oh, yeah.
for that pet for not a pet for a title, and I ended up not gaining as much XP as I could have. That's
Hmm.
why he caught up to me uh, quite a bit. And before him, last summer, I'd say a player named Peak. I don't know if you remember him.
Yes.
Yeah, he came very close. I think he came up to about like 2 bill behind me, but that's the only two that got relatively close.
So, if you were to stop playing, let's say, how long do you think you would maintain that rank one position?
Yeah, I've had this question before. Um,
I, yeah, I think I've asked it to you before this interview
yeah, well,
too.
it depends. It depends actually because I've spent like 5 or 6 months grinding boss pets as well. So would you say like that certain player that has to pass me, does he have to uh,
Yeah,
have all pets, or is it just XP?
XP. Yeah, just
Yeah.
raw XP.
Mm. So let's say Raikau. We're taking Raikau, like right? He's currently rank 2.
Yeah, yeah, he's ranked too.
Okay, so he's at 13 bill and I'm at 15.2. Um, I'd say 2 to 3 months.
Oh,
Nah,
okay.
probably like 3 or 4 months. I'd say just because XP slows down so much at
Yeah,
those higher prestiges.
definitely.
Yeah, around 3 months, I'd say.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be an interesting thought experiment. Just take what your XP is now and then wait 4 months and see if anyone passed your current XP right now 4 months from now. That'd be interesting to do, just to see.
Yeah, I'm not really looking into stopping anytime soon. So,
Yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, so let's pretend like you have the ability to update this game. You can put anything you want into it. What would you add?
ooh, yeah, I've thought about this a lot, and um, one thing I'd like to see is uh, as actual content, the Dominion Tower. I think that would be cool.
Oh, that'd be sweet for completion escape too. That'd be a nice
Yeah,
requirement.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. And just more of a a loyalty point system. I think will be a good addition. So
Okay.
you get points based on how much you play,
Like
and
like based
you
on
get
time played or days logged
um
in or
yeah, time played. Yeah,
time
that's the
played,
same
okay.
as they logged in, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I mean, yeah, and rewards from that could be anything, but I'd like to see auras into the game.
Oh, okay. I think we already have the swap for him on our, yeah, we do.
Um,
Next to our helmets.
that shop exists, but I meant like aura as those things are already like they're in the game, but you can't obtain them in in any way. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just meant like I feel like it could be introduced, you know? Like I don't
oh
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
an
definitely.
impossible.
And another mini game will be Castle Wars, but Castle Wars isn't. likely to come into the game because it's such a big thing and it wouldn't be used a lot,
Yeah,
I'd say.
it would need to have
But
some
will
really
be
nice
fun.
rewards.
Will be fun, yeah.
Maybe some like XP rewards like Pest Control has, or mystery boxes or something, so it encourages players to play it.
Yeah, but if those rewards are the same as pest control,
Yeah,
why
people
make
just
also
do
one of
that. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Okay, so you rank 1, you have all the pets. You're also a staff member.
mm-hmm.
So, have you had any moments as a staff member where you muted someone temporarily or permanently or whatever, and you thought maybe I was too harsh, or you thought I really should have muted that person, but I didn't? Have you had moments like
Um,
that?
yeah, there's probably been moments in the past that I was either too lenient or too strict, but I can't really name any specific uh, moment. Most of the time, we discuss amongst the staff members before we do anything,
Gotcha.
and if we all agree, then we go that way. If someone uh, doubts that decision, we don't do it. So
Lots of screenshots, probably.
yeah,
Yeah, I could
loads.
see that. Okay, so now we're gonna kind of shift gears again. So a long time ago, there was another update that introduced clans into the game. Now you
Yeah,
you you run 2 of them, right? Do you want to talk
yeah.
about those? How you can join them and
Yeah. Well, um, I mainly run one of them together with James, and the other one is run by God Zombie. But we own both of those, James and I.
yeah.
Um, yeah, back in January of 2018, clans were released, and on the day of release, James and I decided to make completionists, and it was a clan made for players who are or who have the completion escape,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's been one of the best additions we've had. I think you get to run your own little community within your game, and it's been so much fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed my time being inside the clan, and um, I'm very thankful for everyone who's a part of the clan and has been a part of the clan for such a long time.
Yeah. As someone who's been a very early member, I like that we started moving to have a bunch of events and all
Yeah,
that. I think it's really cool just to get to relax and have some fun. I've met a lot of new players
yeah,
within the
exactly.
clan itself. It's pretty great.
Yeah, that's one of the things we would like to achieve. That you get like a little community within the
Yeah.
community, and I think that's we've accomplished that fairly decently. And um, we've work Pyro has done on his website, and Caroline has done uh, on the Discord bot. Like
Yeah.
props to them, great job.
Yeah, it's very, very well done. Um, and you also made a post recently about the future of BlissScape, which I absolutely loved and responded to, but for those who didn't read it, because it's kind of a long post, would you like to sum it up? Just so.
Um, yeah, well, I could, but I think it's best to read it in its
Okay.
entirety because just to avoid any confusion, it's basically about the current state of the game and how I think about it, not how about anyone else or any of the staff think about it, but how I think about the current state of the game. Um, but definitely read it uh, if you're interested in that.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's definitely worth reading. So we're almost done here at around 24 minutes. But my last question is, do you have any questions? Do you want to answer any questions that I didn't ask, or I didn't think to ask? Like, is there anything interesting about you or your account that you'd like to mention, or like, oh, this is a question I get a lot, so I'll answer that. Is there anything like that?
um, that I can think of. But I have a question for you actually.
Oh, go ahead. What's up?
Um, how did you come up with the idea of doing such an interview?
Um, well, there are a lot of players that I think have very different personalities within this game. And I think that's very obvious, especially to mods who have to occasionally mute some of the people within this community, that there are a lot of different ideas and a lot of different perspectives from the game modes themselves. And
Yeah.
for example, I think the next person I'm interviewing, who's agreed to be interviewed, is High Scores, and
Oh,
he
actually,
has a very different personality compared to a lot of the players on this game. And it would
that's
be,
going to be interesting.
yeah, and I'm really glad that he agreed. We have a little bit of a pass with each other doing next and stuff, so it'll be interesting to talk to him. I assume it'll be a lot less formal than this, but I just wanted to be able to get some perspective on the game, and I think a lot of people like to watch podcasts or listen to YouTube videos or something when they play the game. And I think that sort of a
Yeah,
long
definitely. That's
form,
I do that all the time.
yeah, exactly. I thought something long form like this might be kind of interesting for someone to do. Like right now, there's like 5 people woodcutting next to me, and they're probably not being entertained by the gameplay, you know? They're probably watching something and I think that this kind of content would be great because, I don't know, I just think it would be good. So, yeah. So
Cool.
speaking
Yeah,
of high
great.
scores being interviewed, is there any fascinating player you think I should interview besides him? Are you want to name drop anybody real quick
Yeah,
or?
you asked me to think of someone
Yeah.
before doing this, and high scores didn't come up in my head. Uh, I had to say, but good choice, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, I'd say Chris would be very interesting to interview because he's been or he started way before I did. He's he had he's been he's been an admin. I think he'd be really cool to interview, and of course you have to interview James if you've interviewed me,
Yeah, yeah, I thought so too. Right? Gonna have
eh?
to deal with another UK timing thing because it was kind of hard to get this set up. For people that don't know, we set this up
Yeah,
maybe to do
it's
2 days ago, I think,
yeah,
and
exactly.
today it's just not coming to fruition. So
Time zones rough.
yeah, I thought about trying to interview Tim about like the logistics of running a private server, but he is quite a bit busy, I feel like. So
Yeah, he's fairly busy. You could definitely try, but
yeah, I think it depends on the success of the other interviews. If he sees that there's something going on with these, then maybe he'll
oh,
wanna.
I think he'd be really interested in doing an interview.
Yeah, I would love to, cause I haven't really. I only talked to him once, and it was the day I joined Bliss. So I joined a voice call that he was in, uh, and I was like, oh, this guy seems cool. I'll give him $60, you know. And so I became a god donor the first day, cause he just seemed like a nice guy, and I think he still is. So it'd be great
Yeah,
to
Tim's really cool.
talk to him. Okay, so I guess thanks for joining me. I had a good
Yeah,
time.
no problem. It's been fun.
All right, so that's it. If anyone listened to the end, thank you also. And if you have any more questions, I'm sure that this post on the forums will be watched by me and Level, I would assume, and we could probably answer whatever you have.
Yeah, sure.
So there you go. Um, all right, I'll talk to you in game at some point.
See you around.
See ya.